introduce yourself, Zara?
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Ramit, first of all, for inviting me to share these ideas with you. So, if I give sort of a very simple introduction about myself, I'm Disara Bevikrama, and I'm a lecturer of English, currently working at two private universities. Also, I was a former visiting lecturer at Open University. And that's sort of like a professional intro about myself. Apart from that, I would like to introduce myself as someone who is genuine, and also who is ready to support anybody who is looking for growth, and who suffers from, like, let's say, like you have that the fear, or like you have the hesitation of whether am I good enough to proceed, whether I'm good enough to progress in my life. So I'm there to give, at least it may be a minor tip, so I'm ready to give that helping hand to anybody. So that's simply about myself.
Grabbing every possible opportunity to make myself better. So, for that, uh, when you hear this title, what does making yourself better means to your personality?
That's a very good question, Rami, because making yourself better is something which is very crucial in life. And also, I believe like people very rarely put efforts into it, because nowadays, as perhaps maybe with my profession, I have seen like the students, they want to achieve success, they have a lot of goals, they have a lot of plans, but I really don't see the workings of it, like how much they work hard for it. So when I saw this question at first, like how to make yourself better, like you need to think about, and I believe like you need to reflect about yourself. That reflection is the most important thing. Let's say like now very recently we celebrated Sinhala and Tamil New Year, so we have lot of resolutions at the dawn of a new year. But what you need to understand is, like, just think about, now we are in 2026. Just pause a little and just reflect, like how you worked in 2025, whether there is any progress. I only see like people only talk about these the New Year resolutions. That implementation part is very absent and it's very lacking. So what you need to do is you always need to reflect whether like my targets which were in 2025, did I accomplish those things? At least one target, did I do it properly? And if you fail to do it, it's all right, but you have to not just to talk about it, but you have to implement it. So through those things you can make yourself better, and in order to make yourself better, the key to that particular success is the reflection. You need to reflect, you need to evaluate yourself. Have I done well? Let's take this scenario. Like after this session I have done quite a lot of things like the comparing, but what I do always, even when I go for these the events, I take some random clips that is mainly to like to see it later and to check whether I have done a good work, and I want to make myself better. Even after I do a presentation, people might say, wow, you did great, and only like the pluses. But that is not what I look for. Maybe like I did it well and people complimented me a lot, but I always want to go for those points for improvements. Still, I'm not the perfect person. So like I really want to like, where what are the places that I made mistakes? How can I make myself better? So you should be humble to evaluate your own self, not to evaluate others, but to evaluate your own self.
That's true. Like you said, you have to improve yourself and evaluate yourself. That's the important
Yeah,
part, because even when the year starts, everyone has New Year resolutions, but in 2 weeks, most people
exactly.
give up.
Yeah, they forget. Yeah, they
Yeah.
forget.
So it's important to reflect yourself and, like you said, take pictures and like
Yeah.
accept, like be mindful about yourself and be uh, like to make yourself as example. And
Yes, exactly.
yes, yes, and there's a saying like it's always you against you. So there it's
Yeah.
yeah, like the change always comes with it. That's true, and I agree with you. And when you mentioned that it's a choice, and the people who take that choice has a path of uh, moving forward. And like you said, people who
Yes.
think that they are all know it all or have come
Yes.
reach to a level, they don't grow
Hmm.
anymore. So that's why I mentioned, like I asked this question about like is growth is a choice, because it, 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 it is a choice. Like if you choose to
Yeah.
grow, you can grow.
Yeah.
And even for me, and always a choice. So
Exactly.
whenever
Yeah.
they it should come within, uh, as and we can help, as a coach I can help a person who has that choice. It's easier for
Hmm.
me to help. So I can't
Yeah.
really help everyone. I think you have a clear idea and a lot of experience in that. Like, uh, yeah, like I asked, is growth is a choice. So it's something that we need to take that step, as in like the person who wants to grow. And again, it's a choice. So what I think in this situation, in this question, what I meant was, there'll be people who has everything, like good family, good financially well, everything, but they might not grow as a person. But when you learn about success, or people who has gone through a lot of things and achieved success, they made a choice to themselves that they want to grow. So circumstances or the mindset or the challenges, it doesn't matter. So it's a choice that you have to take to in order to grow as a person. Can you share a moment in your life where you decide to take growth seriously? So I will give you a small thing. Like I will share a small thing about myself. Is it okay?
Yeah. 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 Of course.
So before becoming life coach, I was also someone like uh, not into self development, or like someone who was not serious with this. So I did a lot of other things, and I wanted to do a lot of things. But when it comes to this question, like you have to be serious, you have to be accountable for yourself. So it's something that came to my mind was like, you have to be serious in order to take those steps. If not, nothing will change. Like you have to take
Yeah.
it serious. If you don't make it a
Hmm.
priority, it will never change. So there'll be days like, someday I will do this. Even this podcast is something like that. But anyway, I took a step. So
Yeah.
someday I will do this. So apart from that, I try to be accountable for myself. And
Hmm.
it kind of made a clear path, uh, so that things align with it. So when you're serious
Yeah.
about stuff, it kind of have a effect. What do you think about it?
Hmm.
And if you like to share some personal stories like that, if you can.
Yes. Yeah, that's I do agree with what you said, Ramit. Like you need to have that the like you need to make such conscious decisions. Maybe like there are certain stages in our life we take things very easily. Like we have had those carefree lifestyle. It's all right, but there comes a moment like. Your conscience pricks at you and tell like you need to make some conscious decisions regarding these aspects. Well, to add into that, I also have like this sort of not something I would say very serious, perhaps with the age. So there was this moment in my life. So that, if I'm not mistaken, that is back in 2019 when I started my uni studies. And my field is anyway like English language and literature, and even my degree is also related to it. So then anyway, once we do start our academics, it's mostly right. It's mostly moving around these the write-ups, only these the written
Mm.
assignments, and only the presentations. Only we have to go in front of an audience and speak up, right? So then that was anyway okay for me, but somehow without my awareness, I got the chance to get into slit debating team. So my uni is
Ah.
slit. So then what happened was, because debating was something totally different, and my lecturer, she was under the impression like I'm okay because my presentations are fine. So I was in a position to manage it when compared with the others. So under that impression, maybe like she was also might have a thought like maybe she is also good in the debating. So once I went there and I happened to compete with the other faculties, engineering, computing, and from the business faculty. So then all those students, they were like really capable, and they were really good in their language, and they were really fluent. So I attended to a national school, and true that I have studied in English medium, but every time that exposure was not very wide, I would say, Ramit.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
limited because I started my storytelling. It's only with the writing stuff. We do
Mm.
not get enough opportunities to improve our speaking skills. So that was a moment that I was so embarrassed in front of such a gathering because they were, as I told you, like they were really competent and they were fluent speakers. I People do not believe when I tell this story. I could not at that time. I couldn't speak in the sense from it. Now, of course, everybody. I don't know whether you will agree with me. Nowadays, everybody can speak in English. You can't say like people can manage at least to a certain extent, but that managing skill is not sufficient when you go to that sort of an atmosphere. You have to be like very advanced, and even this the advanced thinking, you should be able to speak fast, like fluent. You need to have, it's not about English, even you need to have the knowledge, because we get very like the very complicated topics, and it's not like this the school debating. The even the structure is different. I didn't know about those things even back in the school days. I have done debating, but everything is within a
Mm.
frame. So it was very uncomfortable for me. So then, like I struggled a lot, and even though I struggled, I had like ample of opportunities, and even like I felt I should run away from this situation because I could not cope up with that stress. And imagine like you going, because people don't like to feel, they don't like to get it, because you go in front of a huge gathering, and sometimes like your like the group members or your partner perhaps, because it's sort of, we call it the parliamentary style we have it.
Mm.
So it's not a team that you really get. Imagine like two of us, we go as a like a group, like only
Okay.
two, but that is how they consider it. So
Mm.
then the other person, like if I don't do it well, he would like shout at me, are you like, we got ourselves ready and we prepared well, why didn't you speak? So
Mm.
imagine that pressure. Can I tell him like I could not speak up, like I ran out of words? You cannot do it. So then what you need to do is like, it may be very embarrassing, but even at such instances, you learn something. So that's why even I honestly share this in this podcast. Even people need to understand this. Most of the time people don't like such circumstances. Even my parents or even my friends, nobody knew about this, but later on like I expressed, no, I was not that good enough. But I realized I cannot run away from this situation, because I have all at that time I have already chosen I'm going to
Mm.
specialize in English. And imagine my situation at I have already made that choice, and after 4 years of time I'm going to graduate, and just that the degree. But if I cannot express myself properly, and if I I have like the career goals in my mind to become a lecturer. So then it's like it's very crucial. But even though it's very crucial, very embarrassing, like heartbreaking instances are there. The
Mm.
seniors, they shout at you, but you need to decide and you need to understand from it. Like somehow I need to do this. Even amidst these embarrassing moments, there will be like lot of learnings for you.
Mm.
That's the most important thing, and that became the sort of like not a very crucial turning point, but at that very moment I decided, no, I need to take this chance, I need to take this opportunity as something serious, and I determined to myself, no, I'm going to like consider this, and I'm not going to run away. So I'm going to think about my growth, like the personal development. So that was that the important moment. I can name it like that.
That's good. Like you said, I also felt like that might be a turning point for you, like in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, if I can share my turning point or something that made a change in me was I was an introvert most of my life. Like I really like to stay in silent and be with myself and not to talk with people. Like you said, run away from problems or run away from opportunities.
Yeah.
It's a very safe and comfortable place. So
Yeah.
I feel like there were a lot of instances, like you said, there might be like life choices or considers maybe actions, or maybe sometimes life just happen, or like things might go the wrong way, the way you might not expected. So sometimes the change comes within and from outside as well. So
Yeah.
for me, I would say I went to a crisis support service and I volunteered. So for going that, that changed the environment, and I gained a lot. And after joining Toastmasters, and even something you mentioned about taking a challenge and not run away from it. So it's human nature that we have this choice of flight or fight mode. So we choose to run away from problems or face. And I think facing problems is a good way to gain a lot of experiences and get a lot of knowledge, and have that grit, so that you have that experience of moving forward. Even yesterday, I was talking with a friend, and he was surprised that I was a very silent person when I was in school, but I can
Uh-huh.
clearly talk. And yeah, and another thing I would say is, like you said, you have to take that choice. So one thing I give example is, you have to jump to the water to swim. If not, you can't like you think
True.
about it,
Yeah.
or like do tutorials or anything. You have to take that option. There's no
Yeah.
other way. So even like yeah, there are instances you have to take that choice, take that action. If not, there's no other way. So I would recommend a book called Obstacle is the Way. It's a good book, and it talk about how obstacles come to your life, and that's the way to go through it. Sometimes in life you have to go through things. There's no running away, and uh,
Yeah.
avoiding is not always a way
Mhm.
for growth. So
Yeah.
yeah, what was a difficult phase that shaped who you are today?
Again, for that, I have a very interesting story which I consider very recently. Also, I share it with my street students. For that, what I learned from that particular situation, it's immense. Even still, I love to. That was a stressful and a very terrible moment at that time. But now, when I like look back and evaluate it, that's something very nice I have learned, and now I'm very much thankful and grateful for the person who I'm today. So that was something very simple, Rami. So back in 2019, when I was in grade 9, if I'm not mistaken, so we have, I guess, I don't know whether you also have experience like 12 to 13 subjects. It was like too heavy for a
Mm.
nine, like the uh, for a grade 9 student, I
Mm.
still believe. So then, like all of a sudden, earlier the teachers and they informed this was, I guess, should be the second term test or something. It will be like somewhere towards the end of that particular month. Somehow, like all of a sudden, they informed on a Monday morning, like, no, we have scheduled it to another day, and they have decided to change it. And they told, like, okay, it was supposed to be somewhere towards the end of this month, but like we have decided to take it front, like perhaps in the first or the second week of that particular month. Then all of were like stressed out, like some of our friends cried, and that was like a big issue. What I did was like I went home and I cried and I told my parents I simply cannot go for the term test. Then my father, of course, like he's a very cool person, always understands me, and he said it's all right. You can just stay home. And I cried. I cannot study. I have not touched a book even like 12 to 13 subjects within a very limited time. It was something impossible to do.
Mm.
So then I did was like I cried, I cried. No, I cannot do it. I'm not going to go for like all those 12 or the 13 subjects. I'm not going to go. I made that decision, and my father, of course, supported me a lot. And even he tried to convince my mother as well. But somehow my mother did not allow me, and what she said was no. She strictly told me, no, you have to go. I don't mind about your marks. Even to get zero, you have to go. That was the only thing she told. So then, with the support of her, like I studied somehow, right? I managed it, the subjects, and I went for the exam. Like for all 12 or 13 subjects, let's say like 13 subjects, I went for the exam. I completed all the papers. And there was one of my best friends. I'm a very average student, I would say. I'm not very like a bright student. I cannot call myself a bright student, but my best friend, like, she was really capable, especially for math science, like superb. But she did not come for the test. The reason is from it just because she did not have enough time to study those subjects. She didn't want to face it because she was afraid of scoring low marks. And I still remember I got only 49 or 50 for my science paper, and I was the lowest, if I'm not mistaken, because all my other English medium friends, they were really capable and they got good marks. And maybe the paper was also not, might not have been that much difficult, but I didn't study. Right, nothing was in my head that 2 or 2.5 hours. I didn't do anything, just the simple stuff only I could do, matching things, just to write the short answer thing. So the important thing, what a person can learn from this, she did not come for it. And after we got the marks, and she was asking from me, now, how can you go home with this mark for science? It was 49 or 50. Then I asked why. No, like if I got this, if I will not be able to go home safely because mother would shout at me. It's not only shouting, like even would have like sort of hit me, something like that. That was that much crucial. And what happened to her was that became a turning point in her life because she lost her confidence. Whenever from 2013 to up to this moment, I'm not telling this with like sort of a person might think it's not a proud feeling about myself. I'm very sensitive when I tell this story.
Mm.
Up to from that moment to this moment, so she did not take up anything in a proper way. She didn't
Mm.
do her A levels, and even for the all during O levels time, the term test and all, she did not come for the things. Whenever she feels like she's not ready, she could not like study it properly. She made the habit. No, I'm not going to face it. I'm going to run away from this. So I'm very much thankful and grateful for my mother because what she told was, I really don't care about your mark. Uda, you need to have that confidence. Like you need to have that courage. Imagine you could only get 49. Even to get 49 marks, you had the guts, you had the courage to go for the term test without studying, and you sat down and you sort of like didn't do anything. Like you couldn't write proper answers for 2.5 hours, but you faced it.
Mm.
That was a very frustrating moment, seeing all the other friends they are writing well, and at the day of the like getting the marks, all of them they got 80s and the 90s marks, and I'm the lowest. That feeling is something terrible in your life, but I have experienced it and see the confidence that I have, because every time, Ramit, after that we face scenarios in our life, we are not fully prepared, right? Even currently I'm doing my masters as well, and I do my job and all the other things. All 7 days I'm fully occupied. Even when I go for the tests, the exams, I cannot go like fully prepared. I only choose certain questions. Like they would give 7 questions and we can choose certain ones, then I only focus on them and I only study those things. You cannot be fully prepared. So that particular moment, that was something very difficult in life, but that molded me a lot. And I, because of that incident, it gave me a lot of courage, and I started believing myself a lot. So that's what even I always share this story with my students as well. Always like take up the chance. It's okay. Maybe like you are not like the perfect person. We have to always, from it, what I learned from this incident, you have to exclude this, the I want to become the best person, like the perfectionist theory. People, majority of them are like that. I want to become the best. When you, it's okay to have, like it's okay to have that idea in your mind, within yourself, like keep it with you. I want to do like a great work, it's okay. But just because you have that idea, Ramit, you should not pressurize yourself. When people are like over ambitious, they have lot of goals in their life, it's very stressful. Maybe like when you do something good, when I am like over ambitious, I might not feel like complimenting you, Ramit. You did a great work. True, I have goals in my life, but you should not pressurize yourself.
Mm.
Okay, fine. Like we can gradually accomplish those things. You don't need to unnecessarily compete with others. I might not appreciate you then, Ramit. You did something great. Well done. So that should come from you. Even these the human blessings are very important, but unfortunately, like majority of the people do not understand this reality.
That's true.
So that was
Yeah, something I wanted to ask. I think you said it in your after the story. Like I wanted to ask, was she a perfectionist? Like most people have this
yes,
perfection.
yes. Yeah, everywhere. Like let's say she had the other talents. I would say like she was very good in drama, like drawings and all those. Like a very capable sort of a full package, I would say.
Mm.
But when you have that the perfectionist mindset, okay, I'm the best, I want to become the first in class everywhere, the first mindset, so it will not work, Ramit, especially in the long run. It definitely you will be tired about yourself, and it will be a very exhausting journey for you.
I agree, and even in my life, I have seen people who have unrealistic expectations, perfectionist, and
Yeah,
they want perfect life, and they are not satisfied with what they have. So it's very, like you
true.
said, it's very exhausting and very. It's hard to please them, and I think a word you mentioned was like comparing. That's something perfectionists
Yeah,
do as well. So they say like comparison is the thief of joy. So if you can't like be happy with what you have or what you doing right now, you will never be happy with the perfect life you are thinking about. So
yeah,
even for me, I have experiences like I have met people who has a lot of talents, I know a person who was like had she knows like 6 languages and lot of talents, a lot of inbuilt like talents, but knowing that they are not things are not perfect or things are not going there the way she wanted, it's kind of like she doesn't believe in herself. So that's one of the things I want to link to the question I asked before, like is it a choice? Because there are people I have seen like who has everything, like I mean everything, they don't have anything to complain, but they don't have that choice of going like making the choice, like putting yourself out there, like be open to criticism and be in uncomfortable situations, doing uncomfortable things. So having that mindset is very sad, I would say, like perfectionist. And in psychology they say like it's one of a characteristic of a low self-esteem. So someone who has low self-esteem thinks that everything should be perfect, and they compare themselves with others, and they have this imposter syndrome. They don't think that they are good enough. So that's a very sad, like very empty feeling that they put themselves. So if you can compare to another person who has high self-esteem, they don't think about perfection, they do what they have. So one of the important skills in life is adaptation. Adapt to the environment, adapt to the people who you are with, adapt to the things that you have, rather than thinking about perfection. If you can adapt and be resourceful as well, do with what you can. Like even I know people who wants to do video editing and like do videos, but they are waiting to get the best camera, they are waiting to get the best computer and the software, so they never grow. So uh, you need to have that adaptation to do with what you have, and have that courage, I would say, to go forward in your life rather than being on a perfectionist. I think that's something useful to the audience. How do you recognize an opportunity to for growth?
Yeah. Um, that is not something easy, I would say, because recognizing the opportunities, first thing, Ramit, I would love to say opportunities will not come to you and knock at your door. So that is the reality which you need to understand. So, and at the same time, recognizing these opportunities, and they will not say, "Nee, this is now Ramit, now this is a great opportunity for you, like take up this." So there comes a age when maybe like when we were small, perhaps during our school time, maybe sometimes the uni times, our teachers or the lecturers, they might say, ah, this is a good chance for you, you can exhibit your skills, something like that. But after we pass that particular age and we get matured and we start working, especially after that, after we start working, nobody will tell you like this is a good chance for you, maybe there are good opportunities waiting for you, like they will not say like, okay, you can apply for this job and you will get better prospects, nothing like that. But you always you have to like seek for the chances. And answering to your question, like to recognize the opportunities, at first you need to understand yourself. Let's say like if you are thinking about your growth, and if somebody else's, maybe the audience who would listen to this podcast later, if they are very much concerned about their personal growth, they need to understand like who they are, right? That I mentioned this the about reflections. So you need to talk to yourself, just understand who you are, and based on your like goals in life, maybe you have some personal goals, you have like the career goals, depending on yourself, you need to think, "Ah, okay, I'm this sort of a person, I'm an introvert, I'm an extrovert, my target is this." So then you're well aware about yourself. So when you start, maybe when you may be at your workplace and you may be at sort of a Toastmaster related thing, or you may be at a family gathering, another social gathering, then when the things are happening, automatically logically from your like the senses, you will realize, okay, these are some good chances for you. For instance, I will take myself as an example. I'm very much passionate and I love to do this the public speaking. I love to talk to like bigger audiences, and I love comparing. So that is something I love. So then when I started doing Toastmasters back in like 2019, 2020, so then I showed to the other people. I started with a speechcraft program. So I determined I'm going to do this speechcraft thing well, and each and maybe like a very smallest things which I did, I got myself prepared and I did it with passion. Then the senior Toastmasters, like the seasoned Toastmasters, they realized, okay, this one is capable and I have got certain opportunities. So how, when you ask the question how to recognize these opportunities, first like you have to be aware about yourself, and if you are like really interested in doing certain things, you have to show your interest. I mean, like, let's say I told you like I'm very passionate about public speaking, but if you really do not see it from the way I do it, let's say a presentation or even this very moment, the podcast, I love to share these ideas with my audience. So then, if I'm not interested in this and just carelessly responding to your questions, then people can see. And with the efforts that you put it into it, like I even getting the questions and like getting myself ready, dressing up, everything matters a lot. So that's what I believe. And when you show it, definitely like the people will understand, okay, you're this sort of a person, maybe like these opportunities would suit. And the other thing is, from it, on the other hand, certain people might think, oh no, like we have not got opportunities. There are certain people who complain like that. You just tell, it's easy to say, but we have not received such opportunities. Of course, I have an answer for that as well. As I told you, they will not come to you and knock at your door. Let's say when there are opportunities, you can see it. You have figured out the opportunities, so you have to go and ask, right? So right now, where I currently work, that university. So when I went for the interview, they just asked from me, after interviewing the academic stuff, apart from your academic qualifications, what else can you do? Then I said like I can do comparing. Then like that particular director asked from me, like then can you compare our graduations, the graduation ceremonies? Then I said like, of course I can. So then before I joined the university, there was a person, like they were getting hiring, they hired a person, right, and they got it done in that way. So then it was a huge challenge for me, because I'm somebody like who was like very new. Even the university is completely new to me, but I took up that, and there was sort of a like some people did not like it. Don't know, she's like very young, she might not do it properly, she has not experienced such things. So then I sort of, I did not keep quiet. That's the important thing which I want to highlight here. I did not keep quiet. I strongly said, not in an aggressive or any tone, but in a very neutral tone, in a emphasizing way, like I made sure that no, I'm capable of doing it, trust me. Maybe after that, because the a lot of graduations ceremonies are taking place, like the two ceremonies are taking place. So then trust me, I can do this. If I don't do it properly for this one, maybe you can make a decision for the next session, maybe you can change the host, no issues with that. So I convinced it and I worked hard for it. That's what I want to say. Like there are opportunities like around you. I believe like irrespective of the field you are in, Ramit, you have a lot of opportunities. You have to figure them and go after them. People will not give those things to you. Sometimes I'm also capable, you're also capable. Then there is a competition between two of us. right? Let's say like a lot of Toastmasters, and like who is going to do the comparing for this installation ceremony? Like there is a huge competition, right? But you have to not to fight with people physically, but fight with knowledge, and you should have that convincing abilities. Like, no, I can do this. Trust me, I have this potential. So you need to convince the people, and you need to grab those opportunities. Grabbing is very important. No one will, okay, Ramit, here are the opportunities for you. Klisara, here are the opportunities for you. No, it will never come. Even if you argue, I have not got opportunities, then I very sorry, I have to say that's your fault, because you have to run for them. You have to fight for them, and then only you will be able to occupy your space in this society.
That's true. And this age, you can't really say there is no opportunity because of the internet. There are a lot of opportunities and
Yeah,
possibilities and knowledge. We are living in a time
exactly.
where there are
Yeah.
endless opportunities, and
Because you have to look for it, but people, they are very lazy in it. Like the most of the people, they are very lazy, especially I don't know, these young people sometimes very lazy. They don't like to, they love to achieve success, but they are not bothered about like the implementation part. That's the thing.
they like to have achievements, but they don't like to go in the hard road, like go through
Yeah,
the
looking
struggles
for
and
the easiest paths.
easiest path. So I like to share a quote about capability. You mentioned about capabilities. So there's a thing called minds, like our mindset matters a lot. So
Hmm.
people will never rise above the opinion of themselves. So uh, like capabilities. So most people have this inner voice saying that I'm not good enough, or I can't do this, or like
True, so true.
I might not have these resources. So like you said, I don't have opportunities. So it's called like victim mindset. So there are two type of mindsets in life coaching. We talk about two mindsets. So it's a growth mindset and limited mindset. So limited mindset, people who are mainly like they put themselves as a victim. It's a victim mindset. So they think that no one gives you opportunities, or no one helps you, and even when you give them constructive criticism, they think it is as an attack to hurt them. So and one thing I have understood is showing up is half the battle. So when you choose the opportunities, or go with the uncomfortable situations, or go through the things that you don't like, but it will give you growth. So even going to the gym, or going for a run, it's very hard, it's not easy, but going
Yeah.
taking that step will have a big improvement and big change in your life. Really figure you have to figure out opportunities, or you need to know about
Yeah.
yourself and understand. That's something I agree, and there's more to it as well. For me, I feel like uncertainty is something that we might not know. So something that I like to try is yeah, there are things that I like, but there are things that I might not know. I might have that opportunity, or that capability, or that talent. I might not have figured it out by myself. So let's try and see. And that's something I always do to push myself, is try new things and see if something that I like. And something I tell myself is this something that I should have done long time ago? That's a definite
Hmm.
yes. So I invest without thinking, like time and money. Okay, this is something I really love, I should have done long time ago. So that's a way for me to uh, lock on to some things that, okay, this is a great opportunity, and figure out. And there will be things that might not work, might not be aligned with your things, but always going, I think uncertainty is something that we might not know. So taking that action, taking steps is very important. And you mentioned about opportunities coming, like not coming to you. So it's
Yeah.
something that most people have this wishful thinking. You will get a lottery win and you will have a lot of money, you will
Yeah.
have a lot of time, and things doesn't work like that. You have to take that action. If you don't take that action, things doesn't work for you. And something that I have understood and I have seen is, when you have a clear goal and a clear understanding who you want to be or what you want to do, things start to work for you. Life happen to you, not happen for you. So whenever I feel like, okay, I want to do these things, or I like to, okay, say podcast or life coaching or public speaking, I tend to see people who are into those areas and opportunities like that. So there may be a lot of words like law of attraction, something like that. If you have a clear idea, you will notice those things. So give you an example: if you thinking of buying a red car, you will see a lot of red cars in the road, because in beforehand you haven't thought of buying a car. So something like that, when you have a clear idea, there are a lot of opportunities and endless opportunities. So my next question would be, uh, okay, what's something small you do daily that most people overlook but has changed your life? So something practical or something that help you grow as a person.
Yeah, I think like in my even the previous questions also when I was giving my answers, I mentioned about this. It's about Ramit self-reflection. You need to reflect about yourself, and some people might think or they might perceive this as something not practical, but I believe like no, you cannot say like this is not practical. This is a very practical thing which I'm telling you, because people, you can also say nowadays, of course it's 21st century, people can say like we have these busy schedules and we do not have time to do it, but it doesn't mean like okay, this is my reflection time, I have to sit down now, I have to stop all the other work and reflect about my journey. Not something like that, because you have time. Think about your traveling time, right? Even if you, let's say you're driving your own vehicle, like do not lose the concentration, but you can think about it. If you are traveling in a public transportation, right? Just think, because you are just wasting your time. I mean, like you're just seated or you're just standing. You can just think about yourself. That's what I do, because I use the public transportation all the time. So every time I think about myself, even about the lectures. Let's say, like today, at the end of a particular day, like I just ask from myself, like, did I do it well? Did I teach my students properly? And there are certain days that I do not do my best to them. I always, when I enter to a lecture room, a lecture hall, I always make this into my mind. I want to give the best to the students, but there are certain days I fail in doing so. Maybe due to like different reasons, perhaps. But then, what I do at the end of a day, I just question myself. Did I do well? It may be the lecture, it may be my own studies, it may be like perhaps today about this podcast, about my like the family commitments, even like am I doing these things well? So you need to question yourself. So that is the most important thing. If you have done something wrong, even like the important thing, the most important thing is you just pinpoint in, and if somebody is telling, if your mother or if your father or like if your partner or your siblings, like you did this, rather than somebody doing it for you, if you can realize on your road, like that self actualization, you are trying to understand yourself. So that is the most important thing. So this self reflection is the key to your success, because then you know, not only to achieve your career goals, Ramit, even for your personal life. So we are doing each and everything like even our jobs, even these the podcast, whatever the thing. So we need to have a good personal life as well. So then you need to pay attention to this, like self reflection. Have I done these things? This self reflection is not only for your career, not only to become good, and not only to become not only to achieve the goals in your, like the work related stuff, not to win the contest only, but also to become a very successful and exemplary person, so that people will love you and they will like look up to you. Wow, like he's great, she's great, like he has done a lot of good things, like look at him, like look at her. So that is the most important thing, your self reflection.
That's really amazing, and you mentioned few things. So, self-reflection is, you mentioned self-awareness, and
Yeah.
you mentioned a really good word as well, self-actualization. So that's in the hierarchy of needs, Maslow's law. It's on
Slow,
the top.
yeah.
It's on the top. So it's something that really important, and make your life much better, and make your life, the quality of life will improve when you have that awareness. And sadly, most people don't have that, in my opinion. Like me, most people don't think. And something that I
Yeah,
have
because they think they do not. Because when we tell this, right, that's how I even started answering this. Like not something practical. Like this is no longer a good technique, and we don't have time to reflect. They are under the impression like, ah, now it's the reflecting time. You sit and you just reflect. Not like that. Even let's say like what you did yesterday, you can just have a small reflection, like how did it go? Did I do well? Did I have some quality time with the family? Something like that. You can just talk to yourself. Even once you go in front of the mirror, right? You just, maybe you are combing your hair, you are applying some cream, something like that. Just think about it, just reflect yourself. It will not take a lot of time, and it will not disturb it will not disturb to your routine. You just go ahead with your routinal things. While you are doing something, you just think about, you reflect about yourself.
I think you mentioned a good thing about, like, seeing your reflection. So there's something for me to add. I think what you're saying is really good, but there are people who don't do this. So I feel like you have to put your ego aside, and you need to put your, look at yourself in the reflection. Like,
Yeah.
even when you say self-reflection, you need to keep your ego aside and be honest with yourself, I would say. If not, you
So
can't
true.
really, like, you can't really make a change in yourself if you have that ego, thinking you are all perfect and nothing is wrong with you. And I think
Yeah.
something that most people do is they blame others. So this is
Hmm.
something, the opposite. Like, you're not blaming yourself, but you take responsibility, take accountability, take action, take self reflection of, oh, okay, this happened, this is something I could have improved, next time I will do this. So you need to, I think, keep the ego aside to have that conversation. If you have a big ego and you think you're perfect, and if you think
Yeah.
everyone is there to hurt you, you're
Yeah.
not gonna grow. So if you,
Yeah.
like I said before, if you can, like, take constructive criticism really good, like, if when someone who doesn't like you, or someone who likes you, or anyone who says something bad for you, if you can learn from that, apart taking that as a, okay, this person hurt me, this person tries to hurt me, it's something, it's not a way, for a good way to live, I would say, like, not a good place to grow. And the other thing is, when we reflect, we can motivate ourselves to learn from others, and learn from positive things and negative things. So when you have that reflection, not only self-awareness, like self-reflection from others as well. So there are different ways, I believe. There are people, like, I believe there are ways to learn. You can learn from positive things
Mhm.
and negative things. So there are people who have, like, give a lot of good confidence and like do a lot of things, we can learn from them as well. Okay, I want to be that person. But again, we might not have that kind of people all the time. But if you have people who are like very negative and very sad, or have a big ego, who doesn't like to grow, that's also a good reflection of who do you don't want to be someday. That's something I believe, like when you say reflection,
True.
there are people who
True.
think they are all like
Mm.
figured it out, and
Yeah.
and most people who doesn't like to look themselves blame others. So
Yeah.
we talked about victim mindset. So they never take
Mm.
accountability. They always blame. There may be like no money, no time, even the politics.
Yes.
There'll
Yeah.
be always be a reason. What do you think
Yes.
about that?
Yeah, so true. Because then we, as you mentioned, like lot of problems. I mean, like they put the blame on the others. Like lot of issues are there. Even maybe maybe such characters are there among your friends, even at a workplace. That's because even this the perfectionist mindset. Okay, I'm the best. Like they are not ready to accept. Like they have not the wrong as well. It's not necessarily the wrong things, but even if we suggest like you could have done this in this way, so they are not ready to accept it. No, 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 no. I did it in the best way. Such like the bossy figures are there. The solution to that is something very simple. You need to reflect. Like once you have the self reflections from it, like your inner self will talk to you, Disara. Even if you said like, okay, you said this is not wrong, this is something correct, but there you made a mistake. Your inner self will talk to you. Definitely, like you just like talking to yourself is sort of a therapy, right? Whether you
Mm.
do something good, whether you do something bad, irrespective of your things, like when you talk to yourself, you understand yourself. Like there is an individual right now, two of us are talking, and there are certain phases that you don't know. Different phases are there, right? This
Mm.
is like I'm in a very professional mode, you are also in a professional mode. Like after a discussion, if we meet like in another environment, we are like very close friends, then that behavior would be completely different. So like we need to just ask questions from ourselves, like am I all right, did I do well here, like is the manner in which I talked to him yesterday, was it something good, like did it hurt him, I was so bad at that time, I was so rude, I was aggressive. So you need to acknowledge it. So people do not acknowledge. The reason is that self reflection is very lacking in their life.
I think, yeah, I agree with that, and I think you gave a really practical and important thing that anyone can implement to themselves. And like you said, I think that's one of the important things in life, to have a self reflection and self actualization. All of those things, you need to have that. Like you need to have that apart from everything else. Like you can wake up in the morning and go to the gym and do a lot of good habits, but if you don't have that, uh, nothing's going to change. Like if you
Yes.
compare yourself with someone and you always think you're always right, I don't think there is a growth. And one thing I want to add is, when you mention like self reflection, uh, a question I asked before is, when did you made were serious about changing your life. I think there are instances that in my life, or in most people, like they have a turning point. Okay, I don't want to be this person anymore, or I don't want to take these habits, or they say like aha moments, or you might see a person, like I said, a negative person, and think, okay, I don't want to be like this. So one of the things I would like to share is, I know a lot of people who has lot of money, I mean lot of money and lot of time, but they don't have that mindset to grow or do things. So in order to even be happy with yourself or be healthy, they don't do, because they have this fear, and they let fear control you. or the way of thinking has controlled you. So one of the examples I can give you is I know a person who has a lot of money, who has a lot of time. So that person is retired. So that person, she has a pain in her leg, and she doesn't like to go to a psychiatrist or physiotherapist or go to a doctor because she doesn't have money. So I was like, why do you be in pain and not go to a doctor? Like, like some people, like I said, having an ego, like they don't their ego is much bigger than the pain they are in. So
Exactly.
they might suffer because they are right. So like I said, we need to keep our ego aside to do this activity. If you have a ego and if you think you're always right, this is not practical. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. What's something you wish you understood earlier in life?
That's a very good question. So, I really wish I understood it earlier in my life. That is to know your value without to know your value, like without needing to reassuring it from others, because that is very important. I figured it later in my life. Unfortunately, I would say, like, unfortunately, because I will first talk about myself, because I don't know about, like, how it has worked on the others. So I'm a person, like, I believe, like, I can be easily manipulated with my the family bonds with which I have. So then with these the bonds, like, they are so close to me, I get manipulated very easily. If my mom tells me something, if my dad tells me something, so I easily get manipulated. So then when we always, if we are in the mindset of, like, valuing ourselves, and okay, like, we just ask from the other people, like, am I good, did I do something? Because for the self reflection thing, you're just questioning yourself. So that is very important, and that's something, like, totally different. Like, please do not mix up the things, because the audience might mix up that when you ask the things from yourself and asking the things from somebody else, that's completely different. Because then when you ask, like, did I do, am I good, right? You then, what you try to do is, you are trying to set your values according to somebody else's yardsticks. So that is very, I would use this word, like, very negative to yourself. Even what your parents say, even what your partner says, even what your friends say, that may not be the truth. It may not be applicable to your lifestyle. So why you need to, you just try to set your values by asking, like, the reassurance from the others. That's something very negative, and I strongly say which you should not do, whether you are a girl, whether you are a boy, irrespective of the gender, which you should not do. Because you need to, like, believe in yourself. You just have the goals for your life. And let's say, like, if you feel what you do, maybe like something related to your profession. So if you're making a new decision to change the job, let's take something simple. So then you just talk to your parents, perhaps. So then, if you are married, or if you have a partner, somebody, you just talk to your partner, husband, whoever, and then you just get the opinions, and they might tell you different things, right? But that is not the thing which you should do, because you are the person who knows your value. True that your parents know your value, your friends, everybody knows the value, but certain, the inner things, and how you are going to deal with your people, like, it may be the people in the working place. So they do not have that the bigger, the clear picture about you. So why you need to, like, question from the other people, like, is it all right, am I good? Because I have faced these things personally, and I have, like, struggled in lot of instances, like, I always like reach to them, and this sort of a issue, like a workplace issue, has arisen. Then they like the people they have told like that's because you do not know how to get on with people, you do not know how to mix up with people. So then I was so mentally down. So then there was sort of a the negative bubble I was in, and then only I figured out, no, why should I like ask it from others and from their yardsticks? I'm trying to set my values. So that's something very negative which we do to our personality. We need to like, because we are responsible for ourselves, what we do, even like our values, how we are going to like place ourselves, whether we are going to consider our personality as like an introvert or an extrovert, or whether we are our qualities, whether we are going to inculcate those qualities or what, each and everything, like you are responsible. So you need to have the control, not in a bad way or not in a bossy way, but you need to have the control about yourself, like totally into you, because you should be the boss of yourself. Just seeking the opinions, that's fine, but if you like unnecessarily give the control and seek in their opinions and setting your values totally based on their yardsticks, no, that will not work for you.
That's a really good answer, and yeah, you need to know your value first. And something I would add is to have boundaries, to have healthy boundaries. To okay, I will get an opinion, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna take it all. Or like you said, validation. Like sometimes we find ourselves without knowing ourselves, asking for validation to know if you are good enough or something like that. Like we tend to have a external view of, okay, if someone values me or if we have the validation, I'll be good enough. But the truth is, you are always good enough in yourself to do something, like to know yourself and have that value. But first of all, I want to thank you for being honest and being vulnerable and sharing these stories with me, because that's something that's shares. I can see that you are a very uh, you're a person who is vulnerable and who's transparent with yourself, because and thank you for that. And I think people have different perspectives and different lenses, so they will always look from their point of view. And like you said, only you know the best, what only you know what's best for you. That's something I, with the clients uh, I work with, I always say, you always take the decision. I'm only to guide you, and you are the person who know the best about yourself. Like your parents or anyone can't tell you how to live your life or what to do. You have to take that decision. People can give you ideas and options and things, but end of the day, you have to know your value. Like I mentioned, having boundaries is important. You can ask for criticism or ask for things, but you need to have that boundary. Okay, I am someone who's like this, and these are my values. And you shouldn't, I would say, having less boundaries will hurt you more. You need to have that boundaries and be confident with yourself. uh, and if someone is who's an empath, or who's someone who likes to help others, having boundaries is very important. If not, you burn out and you help everyone but yourself. So like you said, knowing yourself, knowing your value is very important. Something for you to give away, what can you share with us, like some advice or something?
It will be like something very simple, Ramit. I would say, like, as we throughout this conversation, we prioritize about growth, and I would love to say, embrace each and every opportunity, not only the opportunities, but also the scenarios, the circumstances which you have to face in a positive manner. I know my the message is something simple, but what is inside that is like there is more into it. So when I tell that, I'm not going to elaborate it a lot, but I will just mention it because this might create confusions. When you embrace things positively, right? It's the, of course, the opportunities, the positive stuff which we talked about. You have to grab these chances to upgrade yourself, and even the embarrassing moments which we spoke about, those things. You can like convert them into like the positive things, and you can embrace it positively. But you might think maybe when we talk to this the a wider audience, there can be like individuals like certain negative incidents in life. For the previous question, what I even my answer, I arrived at that conclusion because of certain personal incidents of my life. Why should I like set my values based on somebody else's yardsticks? So then, even when we face the negative things in our life, maybe like very negative things in your like the work life, very negative experiences in your personal life, we never know because we cannot define that. Because negativity is something, it's up to you. Then the negative thing, I might tackle it in a positive manner, but Ramit, you might not tackle it in that way, right? So then, because of that, even if it's like, imagine the worst case thing which has like happened to you, that is a lesson to your life. Always think it in that way because it has taught you something. Maybe let's say it's something related to your work, like there are some like the troublemakers at workplaces, even think, because that tests your patience, that tests your knowledge, how you are going to tackle it. I know like people who see this, people who will watch this, like they will think it's very stressful, it's easy for you to tell it, but we know the pain of it. Even I know the pain of it. Like it's very painful, it's stressful, and even it affects your personal life as well, your bonds with your family. True, but always think, no, no, this is some sort of a like a, this is also an opportunity for you. This is your life is testing you. Your life tests your patience. Your life tests how capable you are to tackle and to balance your work life and your personal life. You always have to like, now only that the self reflection thing which I told you previously comes into play. Now that you just talk to yourself, no, this is also, this life is, this is a trial. So they test you by giving you different tests. So you're just taking up another test. Let's say like it's a very bad breakup in your life. So you just leave your friends, you just leave your family aside, and you just go abroad and you want to settle down. Even the certain friends of mine, so that's what they do. But still you are with that mentality and think like it's a good experience for you. You learn something. It was painful, like you experienced a lot, you underwent a lot of like the chaotic traumatic experience, but because of that, like understand now, okay, you realize there are such personalities. Because of that person, you like maybe you earlier you did not have certain like the potentials, but thanks to that person, thanks to her, thanks to him, you figured out certain potentials in your life. Instead of cursing, you can figure out them. Okay, I figured out those things, and I know even because they are my weaknesses as well, right? Why can't I embrace it like in a positive manner? It's hard to do because I have tried what I'm sharing with you right now. Like I strongly believe, once again, very practical, because I have like implemented it through myself, and not very successful even right now what I am telling. But you have to make up your mindset, because we always think about our physical growth, right? If you are like fat, you go for the gym, you do all those things, and for your face you put on all the makeup, do all the facials, but you never do things to this thing. Even like
Yeah.
when I have constant chats with my mom, that's what I even tell, like we don't do anything to nourish our mindset. It's everything which we have been talking in this 1 or 1.5 hours, Ramit. We have to do it with our mindset. It's all about like embracing things positively, even the very negative things. Like you even imagine you lost your job, like everything you're in that the zero place. It's all to do with your mindset. People will laugh at you. It's lot of comparisons. Your friends are far ahead than it's all right. That all comparisons, everything that is to do with this. If you have
Mm.
nourished your mindset and if you have that peaceful mindset, not to have the comparisons, not to have those hatred feelings, not to curse people, but you just go your journey and you have those blessings, irrespective of the religion which you belong to. Because even that the human blessings, even in one particular place, I remember, like I mentioned it, so those are very important. Embrace everything positive. That is the most important thing, and make sure you nourish your mindset. It should always be with good things. Instill good qualities, good thoughts, all the good things as much as you can. So then whenever you face something very stressful, something very distressing for you, like your mind will support you for sure. Trust me, I'm telling this with experience.
Thank you so much. And something for me to add, I would say, rather than positive, I would say optimistic. Like whatever happens to you, you can be optimistic and learn from it and think about it in a different
Yeah,
way. And
yeah.
the reason I mentioned was uh, the reason I want to add optimistic optimism apart from positive is positive can be toxic sometimes. Whenever you are going through something, people can say be positive, and that's how like you said, people change, and like people go to another country, or people try to always think about the positive thing, as in, okay, if I do this I might change. So they might not be sitting with the uncomfortable situations, like uncomfortable feelings, or they might not process it. So that's something I want to add is like positivity is always not always good. Sometimes there's thing called toxic positivity. So, and when you are in a trouble situation, people might say think positive, and when you're overthinking, people might say don't think too much. It doesn't really help. So
Yeah,
and
that's what mentioned. Even people might think it's easy for you to say,
yeah.
like
Mm,
practically it's like difficult. Like,
yeah.
but the people, when we experience all what I shared, like we have experienced those things in our own life,
Mm.
and that's how we arrived at these conclusions.
Yes, and even yesterday I was having this conversation with a friend, and we talked about like we have created a jail in our head, like a prison. Most people stuck in their own head, like own prison, and limiting beliefs and thoughts, and that's something that they have created by themselves, and that's something you can't like change. Like you said, you can, there are things that you can change physically and do a lot of things, but if you don't change within, like the mindset, that jail, like the prison you have created, if you can't get out of it, whatever you do otherwise doesn't really matter. And I have seen people who change countries and change jobs and done like change careers, but they are still the same person. And
Yes.
even people who has come through like a lot of failure and a lot of like bad situations, and have a lot of money and in a good position, but their qualities and their behaviors doesn't change. So uh, like I said, change comes within. And I want to share a short story about like I think what came to my mind was හැමදේම වෙන්නේ හොඳට. Like you can learn from things whatever comes to you. So there's a story I can share. One village has a there was a there was a in a village there was a house with a father and son, and at that time there was a war, and they have a herd of horses as well. So one of the horses has gone away, So the child had to go and find this horse, and for some reason he has fallen, and his leg got like broken, and the neighbors were saying, why you lost a horse and your child's leg was broken, are you not sad? Then the father said, it is what it is, like it's not a bad thing or a good thing. So the next day the horse came with another horse, so it became a better thing. And in the same day, people who were like in the soldiers came. I mentioned there was a war, so they wanted to recruit this child, and since his leg was broken, they didn't recruit the child. So like that, when things happen to you, it's not always a bad thing. In the long run, things can change, or like you
Yeah.
shouldn't
We
always
might
think.
not realize it like instantly, but in the
Hmm.
long run, we will definitely understand like, okay, this thing happened because of this. Because, like, at that, when it happens to you, like, that's what I told instantly. And once you experience it at that very moment, it's very difficult, painful to you, but you might realize it with the passage of time.
Yes. Thank you so much for your time. We have gone 1.5 hours. We had a really great conversation. I learned a lot, and we share a lot of knowledge in our podcast. So, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for giving me the time. And I hope to see you in another podcast as well. Like, I want to invite you in the future.
Thank you so much, Ramit. I loved it. I enjoyed. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.